Don't cry because it's over. Smile because it happened. What happened? You just lost $500,000. You want me to smile over that.
Hashtag Summer Steve.
Lovemakers and heartbreakers, internet, my name is Peridiam, and welcome to the most heartbreaking evictions in Big Brother, where we chronicle all of the most tear-inducing moments where random strangers lost $500,000 while locked up in a house in a parking lot somewhere in LA. Yeah, this one's gonna sting a little bit, but you can't put a price on loss or disappointment, and if you're a Big Brother fan, the experience of getting to play Big Brother is probably priceless. In other words, if you're a super fan, you know what this means to us. Even getting the chance to be in the house is like winning the lottery, and then to go on and lose, sometimes from really frustrating situations, is a lot to deal with. The circumstances may be easy to trivialize, but the emotions in the moment aren't any less important, so let's bust out the tissues and talk about the evictions in Big Brother that I think broke a lot of hearts, possibly including mine.
Drew, I wish I had something great to say to you, but I care about you more than anything in the world, and you know that.
Diane, you and I had a talk last night, and you told me about some things that if you and I were here in the final two that scared me, I choose to evict you, Diane.
I didn't say that to you. If I did, that's okay. I'll see you when the show's over.
I considered making this very first one an honorable mention, but you know what? I'm just going to talk about it because it's one of the first ones. So let's start at the top with an eviction that had a much stronger effect, I think, inside the house than outside. Because outside, from our perspective, it was a bit of like a head-smacking Homer Simpson-esque dull moment that leaves me with my face buried in my palms. I am talking about Marcellus on Big Brother 3. Now, I consider not including this one because of, well, everything I just said, but then I think about what this eviction was like for the players inside the house, and I can't help but consider how difficult this was for Danielle to do, how much Jason lamented his decision, how stunned Marcellus was at the betrayal. This eviction cut deep, and I don't think it's what many would assume to be heartbreaking, especially given, Julie literally smacks Marcellus upside the head for not using the veto on himself, but it was a different time. Also, Marcellus is Marcellus.
This is a game, and there can only be one winner. As harsh and as terrible as it is, you should have used the veto. I'm sorry, but I vote to evict you, Marcellus.
I need to do this to you.
Let's also talk about Kaser on Big Brother 6. I could include Big Brother 7, but really season 6 is the harder to stomach eviction of the two, or 3. Kaser returning to the house after his first eviction was a major fist pump moment, especially given how he had just evicted a player and more likely to work with him than against him. The pressure cooker HOH competition is the most iconic HOH competition in the history of the show. It was vital for either side of the house to win, and when Kaser took his finger off the button and then was later betrayed by Jennifer, heart palpitations. Kaser was evicted twice in one season, and the heartbreak was real. That said, to be fair, he did sort of do it to himself by trusting Jennifer. Probably should have known better, but hey, it's a game, he got outplayed. Similarly to Kaser, we also have Janelle on season 6 and then also season 7, where she was at the final 3 of both seasons and lost the final HOH and was subsequently evicted in 3rd place both times. Janelle even went to a tiebreaker in part 3 of Big Brother 6 and was this close to winning the final HOH. After all the toil and struggle to get there, her fate coming down to a single question is rough, and it's a recurring outcome for a lot of players throughout the history of the show.
We have a tie. You both said 66. All right, the answer is 74, just for the record. The correct answer is 1,797. Yvette, please stand and cast your vote to evict now.
You know what's coming.
Anyway, let's talk about a more brutal and difficult to stomach eviction with Keisha from Big Brother 10. Big Brother 22 really did us no favors. At the final 4 of BB10, Keisha had been riding with Dan and Memphis for half the season and was in a good spot with them, largely coming up clutch for their alliance at the right times to guarantee that they would survive intact to the endgame. Keisha was an important ingredient to the cake of the success of all the players involved, a social butterfly that stung like a bee, and when it came down to the final 4, suddenly Keisha is on the block alongside Jerry, the outsider, and Memphis, Keisha's ally, has the choice on who to evict. And he cuts Keisha. And Keisha is not happy. And frankly, just like Keisha's birthday cake, I wasn't happy. That conversation where Memphis breaks the news to her is so sad. And of course, Dan knew this was gonna happen. He wanted Memphis to make this choice because he knew Memphis wasn't gonna handle it well, and he didn't. Keisha was seething at Memphis, and yeah, what could have been?
Are you gonna at least tell me? Or are you gonna tell me why?
I'm gonna say I'm sorry.
Oh my God, I am so stupid. I stuck up for both of you. Are you kidding me? After everything, you're really gonna send me out of this house? And you're keeping Jerry.
You know, I look at this game as a business plan. I vote to evict Keisha.
Actually, a lot of what I just said applies to my next evictee as well, that being Brittany from Big Brother 12. Brittany was also evicted at the Final Four next to three men, the three guys who were all working together since the first week and wanted to see their alliance through to the end. Brittany didn't realize to what degree the odds were stacked against her, and once the news broke out, once the brigade, sat her down and told her that she was doomed to her face, she quickly realized she had no chance. All of it was for nothing. Well, maybe a return appearance 2 years later, but she couldn't predict that. Also, now that I think about it with Big Brother 14, it's kind of sad that Brittany returns 2 seasons later and gets screwed over by Dan, who is the same guy who helped screw over Keisha in Big Brother 10. This video topic is more connected than I first realized.
You're gonna make me cry now.
I mean, how does it feel to know that you just wasted 3 months and you have no shot at $500,000? It's the only reason you came here.
The whole time I'm thinking that they want to send Enzo home, and the whole time it was just crap. I just look stupid.
To see Brittany hurt that bad, it crushed me.
I'm so sorry, Brittany. I have to evict you.
In Big Brother 15, we had Candace get evicted after a serious turn of controversy arose where several players exposed themselves as dumb, ignorant, and racist toward her. One of the biggest controversies in Big Brother history, Candace was on the receiving end of these attacks, and it was ugly. And when you're locked up in a house playing a game for 3 months with no escape, it's something close to anyone's worst nightmare. But to make matters worse, Candace was also attacked for being adopted. As the week that she went home, she had some horrible remarks thrown away by Gina Marie. On top of that, Gina Marie was also the HOH that week, as if the situation couldn't get worse. Oh yeah, oh boy. And Candace was punished in the latest competition and had to wear a clown suit as she was walking out the front door. It's just, what an awful, heartbreaking situation all around.
This week it became personal when Gina Marie said very defamatory and harsh comments against me. So, you called me a rat, and I'm talking.
You know what, Candace? Nobody likes you, no one wants you, even your own mother.
Like that one. No, you're right. That is so true.
Look at her. Candace, you are evicted from the Big Brother house.
Speaking of Big Brother 15, in the exact same episode as Candace leaving, right after she leaves, I also want to mention how gut-wrenching it was to watch Judd plead for his life on live national TV in the double eviction. I didn't see Judd going that night, and Judd clearly didn't see himself going, and once he was nominated as the renom by his own ally, who was also the HOH and the veto holder, he quickly realized how much trouble he was in. He began begging to everyone, it was so sad, to not go through with his eviction, and overall, this was a doozy of a double.
I love every single one of y'all, and I really pray that you bring it in your heart to really keep me here. I won't be working against you guys. Not everything you hear is true. We all know that.
Judd, you are evicted from the Big Brother house.
Big Brother 16. Donnie. Damn. Like defending the Alamo, Donnie was losing allies left and right all season, and he really just couldn't do anything about it. Between the massive, dominant mega alliance that was just steamrolling the game and Battle of the Block, basically crippling all the underdogs who stood no chance anyway, Donnie was in a lot of trouble, but he was such a fan favorite, a likable guy. He was super kind and friendly and heartwarming no matter what was against him, which made his eviction all the more heartbreaking when he was finally out of lives. This eviction was like a slow-moving inevitability, just a steamroller over my heart, but that doesn't make the steamroller any less painful.
It's been fun playing this game. I would love to continue playing this game with you, and it's been a real honor. And thank you.
Donnie, you are evicted from the Big Brother house. You have tears in your eyes right now. Your heart is about to come out of your chest. How do you feel?
I'm a little emotional. I got a big heart, a very big heart.
And then we get to the Big Brother 21 early game duo of Kemi and Nicole. Two outsiders who were outcast, who left their shaker bottles in the fridge for too long, or were secretly the puppet masters of the entire season. Never mind the Dominant Alliance, who was responsible for practically every game move up to those points, Kemi and Nicole were big threats who had to go. Or something. Whatever justifications let you sleep easier at night. In truth, this speaks to a part of the show that I don't really love. It's never really fun to see the social pariahs emerge, especially when they're treated poorly by the dominant majority. And although Kemi was evicted early, she still had to wear that dumb camper costume the entire time while not really even playing the game.
We all know what's going on in the house. Nick and Bella, you guys have been running around playing both sides of the house. And you know, the writing's on the BB walls and the walls are closing in.
Kemi, you are out of the game and moving upstairs to Camp Comeback.
And then you have Nicole, who managed to survive the onslaught, go all the way to the final 3 while crossing names off her revenge list, only to fall short at the finish line, getting evicted on finale night right before the end. To me, Nicole losing was one of the biggest blows from an emotional perspective, as she was this close to reaching the final 2. After all the garbage they went through, to somehow still reach the end and win, one for the history books.
I would have loved to pulled out an underdog win for every single underdog in this world. I'm so frustrated.
I love you both, and I'm sorry, but Nicole, I vote to evict you.
I have learned so much about myself. This hasn't been a game for me. This has been an
You just saw your family. Your mom is here.
Big Brother 23. Let's talk about Claire. Her eviction was a combination of like several prior heartbreaks already mentioned in this video. A slow-moving steamroller like Donnie, also similar to Brittany in that her best friend turned on her, but then also Keisha too, although Claire was a lot more graceful with Tiffany than Keisha was with Memphis. Can't blame her. Claire was close allies with Tiffany, who was the HOH, and then Tiffany was put in a difficult situation when she was faced with the decision, does she turn on her alliance or her sole ally who was on the outs? Tiffany breaking that news to Claire was a rough day. I remember the online community collectively bawling at that scene as it was held in the HOH room on the live feeds. When I think about it, it's probably the most tear-inducing eviction of all of them in the history of the show, and I guess it's fitting that we'll end the video with that one. Claire, I'll pour one out for you. Best of luck in your future adventures around the world.
I love you to death. I have been so torn yesterday and today. I'm so sorry. This is the hardest decision I have ever had to make in this game. And even if I go this week, I won't hold it against you.
And that's gonna be it for now for the most heartbreaking Big Brother evictions. I decided not to rank these because it's all sad one way or another. Feel free to let me know of any other evictions that you were sad about that broke your heart. Dominique on 19, Amber on 16, Nick on 15. Wait, thank you to my patrons for all your support through these trying times. I appreciate the tissues and the shoulders to cry on. Thank you all for watching. I hope you enjoyed the video. Don't forget to dry your eyes on your way out or put fake tears on them to pretend you have emotions. And I will see you in the next one once I reminisce about all the showmances that could have been.
I'm going crazy in this house.
No, we need to get here. Don't look at me. Like there's a situation in the pool out there because of you.
She's so freaking attractive. Oh my gosh. I can't help it. She's so hot.
Come on, man. Think of anything.
Alyssa, you are evicted from the Big Brother house.
Nicole, chopping up a cucumber. I'm just too horny, dude. Don't air that.